So in 1993, the Chinese Olympic team ended up breaking a bunch of these Olympic running records. And after the fact, they attributed a lot of their success as a unit to the supplementation of a certain type of mushroom that I want to talk to you about today. And that mushroom is a mushroom called Cordyceps. It's a fascinating little mushroom. It is parasitic, meaning it grows on bugs, interestingly enough. Most supplements out there in the market use lab-grown cordyceps, so you're not getting bugs and things like that in your supplements. But yeah, this mushroom has been used for hundreds of years within traditional Chinese medicine. And it's starting to see a reemergence here in popularity and awareness with this whole sort of functional mushroom market that is emerging within the West. And this mushroom might be one of, if not my favorite functional mushroom that I take almost daily. And I take it because it has the potential to boost your testosterone, to better your sex life, to make your athletic endeavors better, to make you a better athlete. It does a lot for the human body. It helps you create more energy at the cellular level. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today is cordyceps and why it's good for your testosterone and why it's good for your overall health and vitality. So like I just alluded to a second ago, cordyceps helps you literally create more energy. It's a really, really interesting fundamental aspect about cordyceps is that it increases ATP. And if you don't know what ATP is essentially like fuel for your cells. And what cordyceps does is it increases the production of this within the mitochondria of your cells. So you're quite literally at a cellular level creating more energy. So you're going to have more energy with everything you do. And as you can imagine, this makes you perform better within athletic endeavors. It makes recovery better. And so, yeah, it's literally like this cellular boost of energy. Now, testosterone is a really interesting, complex, nuanced subject. Human hormonal health in general is this very complex subject, but a lot of men in particular, and women sometimes, feel this desire, this need to want to increase their testosterone. And a lot of times it is needed with different, diet, lifestyle factors, and things that permeate throughout our culture. A lot of men are walking around with low sperm counts and low testosterone. And there's really interesting studies out there about the effect that cordyceps has on both testosterone and sperm count. But one of the mechanisms that's going on here within cordyceps is that whenever you take it, it increases the synthesization or the production of these cells called Leydig cells within the testes, the testicles. Cordyceps is activating these Leydig cells, which is leading to higher, amounts of testosterone synthesis within your testes. So you're quite literally creating more testosterone. Another thing that it does for your testosterone is that it inhibits aromatase activity. If you don't know what aromatase is essentially the conversion of testosterone in our bodies into estrogen. And this is a necessary function for all human beings, like both men and women. But of course, this can become unbalanced and not harmonized, right? Where you're converting too much of this testosterone into estrogen. And so what cordyceps does in this sort of kind of adaptogenic way is it helps regulate and harmonize the system. Cordyceps also boosts the nitric oxide production within your body. There's a lot of different supplements and things that you can buy that aim to do this. One of my favorite ones, a really popular one, is beetroot powder, something like that. And essentially what this is doing, this boost to nitric oxide is helping to, and it's more complicated than this, but it's helping to increase blood flow. And what this does is it gives you more, especially within athletic endeavors, it gives you more energy within your workouts. It helps with muscle synthesis. It helps with recovery, things like that. So, and an aspect of this sort of nitric oxide production boost is that it's visceral. You can feel it. Like it's something that's reported. A lot of times people talk about when they lift weights or do resistance training that there's a sort of pump involved, this interesting and a lot of times somewhat enjoyable blood flow activity. And whenever you take a true nitric oxide production booster like beetroot or like cordyceps, you can feel it. And that's one of my favorite aspects of cordyceps, actually, is this taking it before working out and feeling this sort of boost in nitric oxide. And on top of all of these things that I just, told you about cordyceps also seems to help you breathe better and seems to be able to help you regulate your stress and your hormones related to stress. The way that it helps you breathe better is that it increases your VO2 max. And essentially your VO2 max is how much oxygen your body is able to absorb and how efficiently it's able to utilize this oxygen, like within, activity and physical activity and things like that. And cordyceps literally helps you absorb and utilize more oxygen. It increases your VO2 max. There's also this long history of, like I said, it was used for a long time within traditional Chinese medicine, and there's a long history of them using it for certain lung conditions, like bronchitis and asthma, things like that. Cordyceps also helps with lactic acid buildup in your body, so that's going to help you breathe better and things like that. The way that it's able to help with your stress is it helps regulate cortisol. Kind of similar to how I was alluding to earlier with the aromatase thing, it seems to have this sort of a adaptogenic effect on cortisol and these stress hormones, meaning it's just helping your body sort of better adapt and harmonize itself, if you will. It also cordyceps seems to have interesting activity and help with adrenal function quite a bit, our adrenal glands and things like that. And so, once again, this sort of adaptogenic harmonizing effect that it has on our adrenals is pretty important to us, why it's helping people, decompress and be less stressed. And the fact that cordyceps helps you with stress, that alone could help a lot with your testosterone. But then when you mix in this whole interesting matrix where, it's helping you be less stressed, but then it's also giving more energy, helping you work out better, helping you breathe better during your workouts. It's increasing blood flow. You're going to have healthier erections. Your testes are literally creating more testosterone within them. So, yeah, and I say all this because I find cordyceps very interesting, and is the reason why I wanted to make this video is because it's such a complex, nuanced mushroom. But with all that being said, I think something like testosterone, your hormone health, is a very complex endeavor. I don't say all this to market this particular mushroom or our product as a one size fits all and or magic bullet, really, for anybody. I think that where this can come into play, cordyceps can come into play, is within a healthy matrix of things in general, not just taking cordyceps and expecting that to skyrocket and help reharmonize your whole hormonal system. Probably cordyceps taken in conjunction with, lifestyle changes, dietary changes, getting your sleep locked in, things like that. And just to briefly touch on it, my own personal experience with cordyceps has been, absolutely phenomenal. It's probably it might be my favorite pre-workout. Like, there's a lot of mornings where it's like, I'll just have like some water, lemon, maybe a little bit of Shilajit, and then cordyceps. And there's something, like I described earlier, I really love taking it in the mornings before my morning workouts, and I can feel the difference. I can feel the difference when I'm doing some sort of resistance training with this nitric oxide boost. I really enjoy that. The pump, like I was describing earlier. But what I really, really, really love cordyceps for is taking it before cardio, especially some sort of long distance cardio. My favorite thing to use cordyceps for is like a really long, several mile outdoor, sunshiny, type of run. And I think the combination of all of these different physiological mechanisms that we just kind of touched on in this video really, really kind of explains why I enjoy it so much for that particular activity. It's helping me breathe better, giving me more energy, like it's doing all the things. So, yeah, I think cordyceps is really awesome. really interesting. Right now, the sort of recommended dosage for it, if you go online and look, people recommend somewhere between 1 to 6 grams per day. Like all of these other plant medicines and things and functional mushrooms, as you can tell, 1 to 6 grams, that's a pretty, the dose response curve there with that seems to vary quite a bit. And what that means is it's going to be different for everybody. So like with the rest of them, I recommend you start small, maybe at a gram or two, and then work your way up there from there if you need it. I highly recommend, I usually take it in the mornings. You can really take it any time of day though, but I highly recommend taking it about an hour before workout or an hour before intimacy. But yeah, that's cordyceps. And if you would like to purchase yourself some high quality cordyceps, of course, you should go check out our company, Minnesota Nice Ethnobotanicals. We have a really dope cordyceps tincture, and it's made with love. So yeah, hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope you got some useful information out of it. Until next time, it's your boy Gabriel Hardy. Peace out. Much love.